Hey there, my name is Paul, and this is Out of Neutral, a weekly tune-up where we look to the Bible to get in gear and follow Jesus into the life he came to make possible. Today I want to talk about how fasts and feasts unlock food's delights. We often see food as a guilty pleasure or a craving to be conquered. We're either eating with indulgence or restraining as some kind of punishment. What if we could embrace both sides of the Bible's calls to celebration and discipline in our relationship with food? The practices of fasting and feasting may hold the key to the balance God has designed. Let's start with fasting. Everybody knows the 10 Commandments, but we often forget that they were given to Moses while he was on a 40-day fast atop Mount Sinai. We similarly remember Jesus' miracles and how he resisted the devil's temptations. But we forget his ministry began with a 40-day fast. Spiritual discipline is developed through denial. Fasting is also an important part of prayer. When Ezra led the people of God on a dangerous journey from exile back to their homeland, he says, "We fasted and implored our God for this, and he listened to our entreaty." Before Esther went to meet with a king to plead for the welfare of the Jews, she urged the people, "Hold a fast on my behalf and do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day." And when the church in Antioch sent out Paul and Barnabas, it says that they only did so after fasting and praying. Fasting still doesn't mean getting everything you want, but it can be a critical way to discern God's will and show God how important it is to you. Fasting also develops spiritual discipline and exercises self-control. Take a step to incorporate biblical fasting into your spiritual rhythms. So that's fasting. What about feasting? Food can be such a battle for us that we lose sight of its enjoyment. John Calvin once said, "Did God create food only to provide for necessity and not also for delight and good cheer? Did he not, in short, render many things attractive to us, apart from their necessary use?" God could have created a world where we were all sustained on nutrition tablets. Instead, he gave us a variety of foods and the diversity of the world's cultures to celebrate his provision. Just as we forget that God commanded the Israelites to fast, we also forget that God called them to feast. At Sukkot, or the Feast of Booths, the Israelites weren't merely to build temporary structures to remember the wilderness years. They were to feast for 7 days, and they were told, "You shall rejoice in your feast." Has food been such a battle that it ceases to be a joy for you? Have you stopped savoring food and started just consuming it? Enter into the gratefulness of the psalmist when he praises God, saying, "You cause the grass to grow for the livestock and plants for man to cultivate, that he may bring forth food from the earth and wine to gladden the heart of man, oil to make his face shine, and bread to strengthen man's heart." Food isn't our enemy, nor is it simply fuel. It's a gift that points us to the giver. By balancing biblical fasting and feasting, we can glorify God through both restraint and celebration. Food can deepen our spiritual discipline and heighten our spiritual delight. Let food not only sustain your body, but nourish your soul. That's all for this time. If today's video has helped you get out of neutral, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to join us in the journey.